Oh, hey, how's it going, everybody? Welcome to Chicago. Here we are crossing Water Street at Michigan Avenue, looking north of the Wrigley Building. This is where we start and end our lives. We got a really hot day here for Chicago standards. We're already at 91 degrees here at noontime here. I think we're supposed to get into the upper 90s. It's supposed to be like 100. Over 100 heat index, 105. They're even talking about 110. We'll see if we get that, but you know, it depends on the number of days we get the hot weather here, and you know, the heat dome builds up. And hey, John James, Christopher, how you doing there? Thanks for tuning in. I appreciate it. Thanks for being on. And I'll try to be more even keeled today. It's too hot for me to. I'll still find a reason to complain. You know me. I appreciate it. Thanks for tuning in. Marco, how you doing there? Thanks everybody for saying hi here on the lunch bunch here. Yeah, let's head down to the Riverwalk. We'll see what's shaking down there on this really hot 91 degree late August day. And I know the heat's heading to the East Coast there. So hopefully people can stay cool. I know the rest of the country's been in the heater all summer. We've had such pleasant weather up until now. And even though it was really hot yesterday, it felt really good by the lakefront. We dipped our feet in the water there and saw the rowing boats there and saw them setting up for the AVP volleyball tournament. That was nice. So I posted those reruns. Hey, Joey, Heather B, Dolores, thanks for tuning in here. Danny's tuning in there. Yeah, Christopher, I'll try to be in a better mood there. Thanks for, again, my apologies. I didn't mean to lash out at you or anybody else. I was just venting my frustrations, which you understand. And I can't escape it. No matter where I go, people will find me. And just like I vent my frustrations, they'll vent their frustrations on me in the comments, and I get it. That's what they're there for. So we'll just let it be. Let it be. But hey, here we'll cross. I can't imagine people wearing a suit on a day as warm as this. I know it's the modern day toga. You know, if you're a gentleman of a certain means and want to portray that you've made it, you wear a suit. I know it's the corporate uniform, the uniform of corporate power and corporate America, and lawyers and people that sue you wear suits. Politicians wear suits or pantsuits. Signifies dominance and power of the law and corporate America over our lives. Wear a tie around your neck there, but you know, I know no defense if other people like to wear ties, suits and ties. Here we'll head down to the Chicago River here. Just like if we were in Roman times, they would be wearing a toga with a fig leaf around their head and act like a senator from ancient Roman times. It's just amazing that, you know, our general, you look at people in the 1920s, they pretty much dressed the same business attire. You know, it might have a vest on, but the suit's been a suit for 100 years. You think, well, we would modernize, or, you know, like Star Trek, we would be wearing like more practical attire, not something that has to be stretched or starched and pressed. And I'm a hippie here. I reject the corporate power suit there, especially on a hot day like today. It becomes ludicrous. But here, let's head around here. Especially red ties and suits. I don't like red ties and suits at all. Especially really long ones that cover up for other shortcomings. Here's Chicago's Emerald Eddy cutting by here. Look at the nice boat here. Thanks for tuning in here. Welcome to Chicago on a hot day here on the Riverwalk here. Hey, they got the umbrellas. That's good. Yeah, people sitting here. Michael, how you doing there? Yeah, thanks for tuning in. Hey, I got to keep the ice going there. Marco, Dolores, Dave, Chicago, how you doing there? Chris is tuning in. Yeah, Chris's ice belt packs are melting there. 115 index. Yeah, MSNBC, PI, how you doing there? Private Eye. Dan Cruz, XR. Yeah, Puddle of Sweat, that's gonna be me. Yeah, Joey, how you doing there? Hey, you settled in Chicago? Hey, you got a view from the South Loop. That's good there, Joey. Thanks for tuning in here. Yeah. The other half will drive anyone crazy. Thanks for understanding there, Dan Cruz. Yeah, you know what I'm talking about. Danny, how's it going there? Well, that's why we post the reruns if you missed anything there. May, how you doing there? Yeah, you can check out the reruns of the rowing boats there and other things. Master, how you doing there? Yeah, thanks for checking out the river there, Christopher. Bars and restaurants. You couldn't? Yeah, you didn't have time. But hey, maybe next time. Your job was providing you lunch and dinner. Well, hey, take advantage of that free lunch. Yeah, I don't pass up a free lunch if my job is paying for it either. That's good. But yeah, get some deep dish. Yeah, John James, how you doing there? There's O'Brien's here. So they're in the cool spot there. You sit out here, it's a little bit warmer here, but at least we're not in the direct sun right here. And yeah, Chicago River. Not as many people on the Riverwalk, probably because it's too hot today. But dog days of summer are upon us here. Lazy, hazy, crazy days of summer. Wabash Avenue, there's the Marina Towers. See, there's so much to do, so little time. I was wearing shorts, and I would have been wearing shorts because there wasn't hardly anybody in the office yesterday, but there's more people in the office today. And I saw some of my bosses were in, so I didn't want them to say something about me wearing shorts in the office because it's against the dress policy, so I slipped into some slacks. So I got some pants on, even though probably should have changed back into shorts, but we'll be able to change back into shorts for the walk home tonight. I got an eye appointment about 6:30, so I'll stream from like 5 until 6:30. Then we'll head over to Warby Parker there. Does anybody use Warby Parker? Are they pretty good as far as eye care professionals? I was using 4 Eyes, but they went, hey, how's it going, Matt? Yeah, you doing there? What a nice day here to be out on the hot Riverwalk here. And yeah, State Street, that great street. Look at these tour boats going underneath here. We're over by the brew house. There it is, the Evening Star. Yeah, I'll take my shirt off. You want to see me stripped there, Dolores? Yeah, I know what you want. That's good. We might have to. I might fully get in the lake tonight if I didn't have that eye appointment. But yeah, it's hot. But we can take it. We're not going to melt. I know. So not only have Americans lost their ability to deal with the cold, we talk about all the time. People can't walk in cold weather. People slink from their garage to their cars, to the parking lots, to the store there. I know I appreciate the conveniences of modern life too. But we've lost our collective ability to deal with the heat. Think of all the people that moved to Florida and Texas and Arizona. Would that be possible without air conditioning? Would you want to live in Houston without air conditioning? We know the answer, because when we lose electricity and power, it becomes dangerous to live in those areas. And I don't know how people did it. Think of the indigenous people, and that's not even like the tropics. Think of the people that live close to the equator before, you know, air conditioning. How did they do it? I don't know. But here we'll hey, sure thing, we'll head by this giant boat here. We'll see how Jerome Powell's protecting the investments of these ultra wealthy people. Good for them. Yeah, see, they're just, the stock market's just churning up and will never fall, and they could safely rely on stocks just going up forever, and they can live on this boat for the rest of their lives, and we all work for them. It's great. Buy back your stock. How you doing? See, he's laughing at us little small people here on the shore here. We're not boat people. Sometimes I think the Federal Reserve exists just for boat people. And this is a small one. True billionaires like Jeff Bezos have a boat. Would put small countries to shame. So hopefully you can use it on Mars there when we expel them from this planet. Hey, thanks for tuning in. Welcome to Chicago. My jealousy of the wealthy. And we'll see if I can put my money where my mouth is. If I ever strike it rich, I'll give more money back than just letting giant piles of money stack up and then wait till I die to give it back. You know, no criticism to Warren Buffett. You know, it'd be nice to give it away while you're still living there, right? There, Wendella, Chicago's classic lady. There, Lucia. No one can be angry at the affable Warren Buffett. He's your friend, right? Yeah, Warren Buffett's your friend. Same with Bill Gates. There, Lucia. Look at that. Here's the Wendella boats here heading by. Architectural cruise boats. Hey, that's a nice photo there. Look at that. Yeah, looking nice. Very, very demure. Very demure. We need another meme that everybody can latch onto. There, Clark Street. We're over by Tiny Tap. May, how's it tuning in there, Michael? Amber, thanks for tuning in there. Fall and winter, yeah, we got it all ahead of us. Hey, Amber, thanks for tuning in to the Lunch Bunch. It's straight cow chips, I saw that. Yeah, Heather. Yeah, stay inside the air conditioning, yeah. Hey, Tiny Tap. Hey, I successfully was able to use the YouTube has a new algorithm where you can scrub out copyrighted music. And 2 of my reruns there had copyrighted music. So I was successfully able to scrub out the music, and I can still monetize my 2 cents from Google. Hey, look at the hibiscus flowers here along the banks of the Chicago River. That's the future of America, reserved for billionaires. Reserved. You need to be a billionaire to sit there. Money talks. The rest of us walk. That's why I walk. I'm like that song William Shatner sang about you want to be like common people? You want to live like common people? What's it like? Live paycheck to paycheck. Dave, how's it going there? Yeah, have a good day there. How's it going, Patty Cakes? Pizza Lisa, how you doing there? Yeah, I know Warren Buffett gives it away, but he's still part of the capitalistic power structure. I know that's part of his PR, and Warren Buffett's much better than Elon Musk. I'll give you that, Lisa. You're exactly right. Warren Buffett and Bill Gates, the Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation, they give a lot back, and they try to recirculate the money. See, that's all I'm talking about, just recirculating the money. The premise of Lisa, let's have a nice discussion here. This is great. I'm glad to having these intelligent discussions. What was the purpose of capitalism? To have just piles of money invested in the stock market that never gets recirculated through the economy. That's what we all are supposed to do with our 401ks. You save up a nest egg for your personal and you retire off it and everything. But for multi-international corporate conglomerates where they buy back their own stock, including Warren Buffett, who bought up a lot of the railroads, which led to some of the inflation that we all have experienced. See, it's a double-edged sword. And Warren Buffett and the late Charlie Munger, and I respect Charlie Munger. Charlie Munger was against Bitcoin. He was against cryptocurrency. He was for investing in companies that actually pay their employees a living wage, and you know, the compounding interest of just letting the stock and these piles of money, these there's Green Bay there, they're going by, there's the Green Bay fans going down the Chicago River there. So of course, what do you say to that, Chris? But these piles of money, that's what the stock market represents to me. It's a bunch of piles of money that the incentives are never to sell, to keep that pile of money, and then so the Fed creates more money based on debt. These piles of money stack. Look at the pile of money that Warren Buffett laughs about it. He's like, I could build a giant pyramid in Omaha there, you know, to my, like a pharaoh. And wisely he's donating. And look at his son, you know, his son, he's a farmer. I'm talking about Warren Buffett's son, lives, you know, he's not, Warren Buffett, to his credit's not bequeathing what he could be generational, eons of generational wealth to his heirs like an aristocrat. He's recirculated. So kudos to Warren Buffett. But he represents giant piles of money while people are in need. You know, there's real need, and that's what capitalism, it's like, we don't need these surplus people. They don't serve a purpose in the economy like the migrants. Or, you know, they could serve a purpose in the, you know, and that's the, now I'm not saying socialism is the answer. Socialism has major problems, which I acknowledge. I'm just against big piles of money represented by the stock market. I genuinely want the stock market to be lower. I think stock market I know everybody needs to reinvest for their 401k. We all have to buy what the billionaires own. You have to buy Berkshire Hathaway, and then he never sells it, and it never does a split. And, you know, hopefully you understand where I'm coming from. I really, I'm just against these giant piles of money just never being recirculated through the economy as represented by the value of the stock market, because there's no incentive to sell. There's no incentive. It's like buying back their stock. Instead of paying more wages, they have deemed, you know, give it back to the people that already own the stock, who already have the money, already won. And then they're sitting on their boat there, laughing it up. And it just makes me angry. It just does. Because I'm not part of the group there. You know, I'm not going to just sit here and invest in corporations that I disagree with how much power they have. You know, you know, the smart thing is to buy Tesla. I'm not going to buy Tesla stock, not now. I'm not going to give Elon Musk any more power than he already has. I'm going to fight against him. And if I can short his stock and profit that way, hey, I'm taking the risk. It's just like the gambling casino. You can take the pass or the not pass line there in the craps table. You can bet against the person with the dice, or you can be the person with the dice. Thanks for understanding here. I'll move on to some better subjects here. So here's the merchandise mart. Think of the merchandise mart. So they built that thing, and then what did we don't want to have a 1929 style or 1987 style correction to the stock market, this vast amount of wealth. Look how far it's set back. It wasn't until the World War II that we recovered from that. And some argue if it wasn't for World War II, it would have took us a long time, a lot longer to recover from the Great Depression. It was a true failure of capitalism that we shouldn't deny. And the lesson that Bernanke took from it is that he just needs to keep quantitative easing, flooding the market with liquidity. Yes, we avoided a Great Depression after the Great Recession, but now we're in this endless age of inflation and overvalued stock market. They had to make it overvalued to keep it going. Otherwise, it would have just stagnated there, and then I'd be complaining about that. I just like to complain. Thanks for listening. Here, we'll head over to Wolf Point here, but thanks everybody for tuning in here. Welcome to Chicago. We're on the Riverwalk here and having a nice discussion. Hey, there's a ladder here. At least you can get out of the river here. That's why I always argue it's always so hard to get out of the river. Here's the pink line heading across the Lake Street bridge here. The confluence, yeah, Lisa, you know about the confluence here? Yeah. Thank you. Yeah, Omaha's great. I like Omaha a lot. Good Midwestern town. Yeah. No, and Warren Buffett represents that. I think Warren Buffett is a credit to Omaha because he gives a lot back to the community, and he doesn't live in a big giant house. He doesn't have a big giant yacht like Jeff Bezos. So yeah, I guess I picked the wrong person. I should stick with Jeff Bezos and Elon Musk, and no one will fault me. I just like reminding people that Warren Buffett, to his credit, has been, he's a true Midwestern, Omaha, down-to-earth person. He's kind of an outlier in the billionaires, and so was Charlie Munger. And there's that yacht. There's that yacht we saw. Is that the same one we saw? Look, they're flying the Spartan flag there. No, that's a different boat. That's not the same one we saw. That's a different pleasure craft. Because I can tell. Well, I can't tell that the name's different. I can't read the name. The other one was Sure Thing. Maybe that is Sure Thing. Is that the same boat we just saw there? But here's people sitting on. How you doing? People are laughing at me. I must look like a funny guy here. People just like sit and laugh at me doing my podcast here. Here's pink line going one way. There's the green line going the other way, crossing the... No, I meant no way to disparage the people of Omaha. Warren Buffett, he still is a ruthless businessman. You have to be to, you know, corner that much wealth. Him and Charlie Munger would laugh. They would buy old defunct companies. They would say they were buying like old cigars that had still a puff of life back in them, and then the value of the stock would go up. Who has benefited from quantitative easing the most? Who has benefited from all the liquidity at the Fed? It's the people that were rich already, and that included Warren Buffett, because what did the Fed do? It boosted the value of all assets. If you owned a house, a car, or stocks and bonds before COVID, you're much richer now because the Fed was successful at boosting the value of all that, and we call it inflation. If you didn't own things, you didn't benefit from inflation. You get the brunt of inflation, and that's the lesson of it. The ownership society, which, you know, that's our system here. Who am I to knock it? You know, I don't know what the answer is. We're just I'm just exposing my perspective on it. And so here we'll head up. Get on top of Lake Street. This is just my opinion. Just because I say something doesn't mean it's true. And I'll be the first to acknowledge that. Hey, look at everybody sitting there. Even on a hot 90-degree day, people are still sitting in the chairs there. People are still taking tour boats. And we'll head through the loop here and see what's shaking. Hey, Chicago Riverwalk, enter here. I'm just angry because I am short the market and it won't go down, and so I continually lose money every day. And the reason I'm short is not because I want you people to lose money. I want Elon Musk and Jeff Bezos to lose money, and that's a fool's errand there. Don't try to time the market. It's a fool's errand. And someday I'll be right, but I'll be out of money by the time I get there. That's the problem. The market could stay irrational longer than you can stay solvent, or I can stay solvent. And I've proven that. Don't fight the Fed. There's no choice. This unelected, appointed regulatory body, essentially a group of bureaucrats, And I'm saying this as someone from the left, someone that is almost like a card-carrying communist here. I just don't like the fact that they have so much power over, like, you know, the cost of everything. I thought we're against price controls. We don't have a free market, we have a manipulated market. Here, look at the green line. Here's the green line heading down Lake Street. You know, let me frame it this way, and I'll, you know, both the right and the left deserve equally amount of criticism. You know, Kamala Harris recently gave a speech where she was bringing up the possibility of doing price controls. I think that's a bad idea. Nixon tried to do price controls in the 70s. They didn't work when we were dealing with inflation in the 70s. Price controls sound like state control. So if you're against price controls, why are you for the Fed? Because the Fed controls the price of stocks. And they're doing, you know, the whole thing is to keep the money, the people that have money with money, bail out people like Bank America after the Great Recession so they can, you know, they employ so many people, they're too big to fail. If the Fed controls prices, and again, it's an unelected, unappointed, not that I want the president controlling it either. I think that's a bad idea. We need some sort of central banking, but it's not a free market. Let's not call it a free market. It's not a free market. It's a manipulated market that's controlled by a central bank and the coordination of central banks throughout the world. I'm not talking about a vast conspiracy theory. This is just evident by, you know, what we experienced through the pandemic. All the central banks coordinated. They all produced extra money, and now we're dealing with inflation. It's as simple as that. And they had to do it because of the pandemic, but it's not a free market. That's all I'm saying. That's my only point. It's like free trade. What the hell is that? Here's the small cheval. Sounds good. Doesn't really work in practice here. Hey, 150 north. And I'm not an economist. Why am I even talking about this? I should stick to what I'm more knowledgeable about here. Excuse me. Thank you. Yeah, the banks get all the breaks. It shows you, you know, it's a power structure, and that's why I like having these discussions. Yeah, I understand why people get angry. I'm always filming the corporate towers of downtown. It's, you know, it represents all this money, and yeah, the skyline's impressive, but that's what it represents, you know, including the Board of Trade, Salesforce Tower. Salesforce is another, you know, there's a Salesforce Tower in San Francisco. There's one here. Is there one in New York? You know, there, Bank of America there. Jamie Dimon there, eat your heart out. This used to be Boeing. Now Boeing moved to Washington, D.C. to be closer to the Washington, D.C. lobbyists. There's corruption in Chicago, but there's corruption in District of Columbia too. Both parties. And there's nothing we can do about it. The Supreme Court says it's fine. They actually want it to happen. But hey, we're just enjoying this beautiful day here. We're crossing the Chicago River here. We'll head down Randolph Street. Maybe I'll bump down one more. What time we got here? 12:30. So we got a half an hour to get back here. Oh, there's people sitting out over there. So remember last week when the DNC was going on, we walked through here on Wednesday or Thursday, and this whole plaza across the street was empty. Now there's at least people there. And it shows you people avoided coming downtown. Lisa was talking about that, piece of Lisa. And others reminded me how restaurants were hurt that all this business they thought they were going to get from the DNC didn't come to fruition. And then not only that, insult to injury, people avoided downtown because of safety concerns or traffic, or they were told by their employers not to work from home. And it was like the pandemic last week. It was like nobody downtown. It was freaky. It was me and the protesters and the people going to the DNC who were all waiting in line and just staying in their hotels. Understandably. Here we'll cross Wacker Drive. Here's Wacker Drive looking south here. Here's 155 North Wacker here. We'll head through this plaza. Yeah, Kevin. Warren. Yeah, Warren did not speak to me. How's it going there, Marco? Yeah, the camera's doing fine. I mean, it's only 91 degrees. I mean, let me feel my camera. Is it hot? Yeah, it feels okay. I mean, we walked home last night and it was 96 degrees, but it wasn't that hot by the beach. Here, see people are using this outdoor seating here. Hey, Damien, Darlene, yeah, thanks, Kevin, and Marco, and John James. Yeah, our system's still the best system we got, I know. Who am I to... I benefit from it too. I'm a hypocrite. I'm just... you know, I don't know. I guess I should grow up and give up my younger idealistic perspective. You know, I was part of Occupy Wall Street. I was very angry after the Great Recession. That's ancient history now. I should give that up because ever since then, the market has gone nothing but up with brief month or 3 months little dips that you buy every dip. You've been rewarded like Pavlov's dog. People that have never sold, bought every dip, and continually monthly put into their 401k. You've benefited from the continual non-stop rise since 2010, since the Great Recession, and there's been no meaningful. And so I guess we should, yeah, we've won. We're in this endless age of prosperity. The stock market will never go down. We never have a recession. All we get is inflation. And we got this whole wealthy class of America that never have to sell their stock, and for the rest of their lives they can just live off the resources of the rest of us. And that's a great system, right? If you made it, if you're retired, if you're successfully wealthy, I commend you. You won. You don't have to work the rest of your life. And hopefully you're watching right now, and I appreciate it. My father's in the same situation. After the Great Recession, he was in a union. They bought out his pension. He retired early because my mother was dying of cancer. He selflessly took care of my mother, the primary caregiver of my mother, as she died of cancer. And him greatly for doing that. And he thought about going back to work, but because the stock market has been so strong since the Great Recession, he hasn't had to. He has the option. He tends his garden. He takes care of his house. He travels, and he can buy. His last vehicle, he bought it outright. He didn't even take a loan or nothing. He good for him, you know. And that's one way to stick it to the banks. Don't finance anything, yeah, including a house. Here, we'll go past the Cadillac Palace Theater here, Hotel Allegro. I just want a little volatility in the stock market. I want a little volatility, not this snooze fest we got now, where it just is pretty much flat and never goes down. It goes, you know, we dropped 1,000 for one day, and then everybody bought it up, and now we're back to the all-time high. So, again, Pavlov's dog, buy every dip. Stock market will never go down because the Federal Reserve will never let it go down, because that's their friends and buddies. And we're supposed to buy what everybody already owns. Here, Cadillac Palace, State of Illinois building. Hey, there's the original State of Illinois building. Then we'll go by the Millennium version, built in the early 80s, that's under reconstruction here with Google. So at least Google's reinvesting in something. I should commend them for that. They are. I'm glad they're sticking money into the state of Illinois building here, the Thompson Center. They're bringing second life here to a area of the loop that desperately needs some reinvestment here, LaSalle Street. Isn't it interesting? LaSalle Street used to be the center of finance. It's now like empty office space here. All that money that was made, oh, see, that's what I'm talking about. All that money was made. It's used to buy farmland and turn it into houses. Positive, negatives, everything. Yeah, that's the one positive thing we have. You know, people consistently comment, despite our other problems, which we have many here in Chicago. At least we got clean sidewalks, clean streets, less rats than New York. And I commend. We see the street sweepers, at least in the tourist areas, driving around all the time. And you know, there's a few leaves here and stuff, but on balance, you know, it's we got lighted alleys, you know, things the city did over the decades to try to improve the safety, which I know we got to get that death rate down. Ubiquitous crime, it always plagues the city. It's been that way since I've been living here the entire time. It gets better and worse. But here, let's check out the Thompson Center here. We're at Clark and Randolph. Yeah, look at that. They almost got the whole top tier there. They removed the glass. They're starting to move that. This is the Thompson Center here, the State of Illinois building. The Walgreens used to be there. You can look right through the atrium. Remember when we went in there when that architectural symposium was going on? And Google's investing in updating this building, replacing the glass. There was problems with the glass. That atrium always didn't heat and cool well. Hellman Jan's. Some people call this the ugliest building ever built. Some people want to protect it, architects, because of Hellman Jan's legacy. And so they're going to build a new plaza. Hey, Piano Man. Yeah, I usually eat lunch at my desk because I'm a hoveling corporate office worker that I haven't become a millionaire or billionaire off the stock market. That's why I was complaining about the stock market, because my own personal choices that I made, and that's my own fault, and I accept personal responsibility for that. Listen to that. Someone from the left here, me, is accepting personal responsibility for my own bad actions here. I'm not blaming it on society or some other diversion. Capitalism won. I lost. I get it, you know. But here we'll. But yeah, I usually eat. See, because of live stream, because I walk to work on TikTok, I usually drink a fruit drink or something before I start walking, get some caffeine, and then when I get to work, I usually get a cup of coffee, and then I'll get me like a breakfast sandwich or something and eat it at my desk. I do a lot of eating at my desk. So this is because this is the Daily Center, and there's courthouses in there, and so they don't like people just waiting. And a lot of people wait there to pick up people, and so there's always messages like that going on around the Daily Center. What time we got here? 12:40. Is there something going on at the Daily Center? I could have walked over into the Daily Center. I got talking here. But then, yeah, I eat lunch usually after. Usually after I do my walk, I'll get something to go and eat at my desk while I'm just working there at my desk there. So that's when I eat lunch. I do eat lunch. Don't worry. I'm a large mammal. I weigh probably 250 pounds, over 6 feet tall. And I can still stand to lose some weight. So thanks. I appreciate people having concerns with me to stay hydrated. And making sure I'm getting my lunch. Appreciate that. Here, Harry Potter and the Cursed Child here. They got the Nederlander Theater. We'll go underneath here. Yeah, the beautiful interior lobby here of the Nederlander Theater here. Let's see if any of these doors are open. I doubt they're open here because, yeah, they're all locked here. There's the Blick. Yeah, they got some art materials. Yeah, let's see if they can make it energy efficient. I know that's going to be really hard. But here we'll briefly show the Chicago Theater, and then we'll head south on State Street because I want to round it out. We'll go through Millennium Park because I got over 15 minutes here. We should have time to go through Millennium Park. I know we were there yesterday, but it's just easy for me to do this circuitous walk and catch as many of the highlights as we can here on a hot day here. Yeah, we saw it yesterday. Here's the Chicago Theater. Yeah, Stephen Colbert was down at the Auditorium Theater, and he was in town last week. That was last week. Stephen Colbert was down there. I'm sorry I missed that. A friend of mine, actually, Chris, you know, when I was out of town, I flew out of town Thursday night last week. I flew out of town. That's why I got that footage there on the Orange Line. And then somebody offered me Cubs tickets on Friday. Of course, they offered to me like Thursday, and I'm like, sorry, dude. You know, I could have went to the game with them on Friday. It was like a day game. But I was like, I'm out of town. And he's like, oh, you jerk, you wouldn't even take my... I'm like, dude, I had to go to a bachelor party. And I know he was fine. You know, I appreciated him offering tickets. But Colbert was at Wrigley Field. That was when he took his pants off. He threw out the first pitch and sang the 7th-inning stretch. So I could have filmed all that with Stephen Colbert at Wrigley. It would have been great. But, you know, I'm pulled in all directions just like everybody. I'm glad to go to my cousin's... bachelor party. That was great. We had a good time there in Cincinnati. So here we'll head down past the Red Line subway here. Yeah, Dolores. This will all go on the quiz here. Hey, yeah. Hey, Cubs got some records, so they're back to 500. What else happened last night? What did they break some records there? I wasn't paying attention. I need to be more in tune with the sports there. Sometimes I miss stuff. But I see they're back. I guess technically, I was shocked when I saw the standings there in the elevator. Technically, the Cubs are in second place, but they're still 10 games back. They're still 10 games back. And but I guess they're just half a game above St. Louis, right? Oh, like that's like the NL Central. It's like everybody's like 10 to 15 games back. And I know Kevin's happy that the Tigers were playing the White Sox because they got a chance of winning. Played the Cubs before that. Here, let's head over to Millennium Park. Let's see if anybody's out here on a hot day. Stolen base record. Okay, thanks, Marco. Thanks, Chris. 21 hits, 8 stolen bases. That's great. Thanks, Chris and Marco, for the update about the Cubs. That's good. That's 21 hits, 18 runs. That's hard to do. Yeah, thanks, Damien. Yeah, I wasn't living. I moved here in 1999, so it was after the second three-peat. But we used to come to Chicago. I started coming to Chicago in 1994. That was at the end of the first three-peat, and there was a buzz around the city then. But then, of course, they built the new United Center, and the second three-peat in this 1997, 1998, we came to Chicago, and It was an exciting time, yeah. The 1990s in Chicago, most people think of it, especially with the Bulls and Michael Jordan and Scottie Pippen, and Rodman was for the second three-peat, with fond memories. I do remember being in Chicago in 1998, and at that time I knew nothing about the Cubs. Again, I grew up near Cincinnati, Southeast Indiana. I was a Reds fan. But I think the Cubs made the playoffs in 1998, and then they lost. I think it was the Sammy Sosa era. They lost really quickly in the playoffs, and so I remember being at a bar, and everybody was bummed out about the Cubs losing the playoffs in 1998 because they were so used to winning with the Bulls, and shows you it's up and down with the Chicago sports teams there, as we all know. Oh, Russian Division was the place to be. That's why those legacy bars there that we walked by there, the Lodge, Hopsmith, you know, clubs. We'll see if we get to connect here. We'll see if we can get here. Connection. I got over here to Michigan Avenue, so we'll see the phone here. So my connection is horrible now, so there's no way I'm streaming now. So let's see if we can walk out of this. Now it's slowly coming back here, so I walked through a serious dead zone with cell reception here. We'll cross the street here at Madison Street and see if we can get it back here. So there's the L going by. I dropped out there for a second. It's a shame we had some nice music that I wanted to stream, but my connection cut out there, so hopefully we'll get it back here as we head into Millennium Park. Thanks for staying on. Sorry my connection cut out there. I was 3,800 kilobits sometimes around the cultural center, or especially around that bull, or the that cow there, the statue. I've had bad luck with me losing my connection there before, so hopefully we got the connection back. Thanks for staying on. We had 93 people, and I lost half my people because my connection dropped out. And of course, that's what I get. And there's the Crown Fountain here. 12:51. People are staying cool here on a hot day. Yeah, we're mid-90s at least here. Yeah, I came back. I saw your comment there, Tara. You saw Michael Jordan in Boston. That's great. Yeah, that's right. When I dropped out, I was walking by the Cultural Center in that notorious dead zone that sometimes we catch there by the Cultural Center. It just got me bad. And so thanks for staying on here. We'll round out the rest of this. We had over 90 people watching, and Murphy's Law, then the connection went down to nothing. But here we'll try to film the faces here on the Crown Fountain, people cooling down on a 90-degree day here at the end of August. And we'll get a spit in the water out here. People staying cool. This is actually the ideal day to come to the Crown Fountain and get cooled down with the water here because it's so hot. And it was film the sculptures here. Thank you. Thanks, Marco. Yeah, I'm not a quitter either. I'm still short the stock market. My battle against the billionaires will continue, and even if I lose, they've already won. So, and even if the stock market, they'll buy it back up cheaper. Hey, look at these nice faces here. Look here, we're here at Crown Fountain here, Millennium Park. We'll see if they pucker up and spit out some water here and cool everybody down. There's a nice backdrop. Here, while we're waiting here, we'll go up and film some of these sculptures here. And I'll keep an eye on the statues behind me here to see if they always, when I don't look, that's when they sneak up and pucker up and spit out some water here. We saw this yesterday. We saw these beautiful sculptures here. And oh, there it goes. See, look, as soon as I turn my back, there they go. There's the crown fountain there, spitting out the water, looking nice. Yeah. Beautiful scenes of the city here in Chicago. Crown fountain. Yeah, that's exactly what you want to do. You get your face doused with water there, cool down on a 90-degree day. Isn't that great? Yeah. You never seen that? Damien, hey, it is the Crown Fountain here. This is here in Chicago. This is part of Millennium Park. So these are faces of Chicagoans that have volunteered, and they have like hundreds of them. Hey, he's cooling down there. That's how you do it. Yeah, you get the waterfall here. You can feel the mist coming off of it. It's great. How you doing? How you doing? Thank you. Yeah, look at this. See, they're cooling down there. It's the Crown Fountain here in Millennium Park. We'll go by the Bean to show you how close this is to the Bean. Thanks, Damien, for tuning in there. Thanks for staying on, even though I lost my connection. I appreciate it. Yeah, the statues are watching me, Kevin. The eyes are, as soon as I turn around, that's when they spit out. They said, we'll get this guy. Hey, let's head by the Bean here. Oh yeah, me too. If I was a kid, I'd be playing in that fountain, having a good time there. I feel like doing it as an adult. That'll stop me from complaining. Yeah, it's refreshing. Refreshing. So here we'll head by the Bean there. We saw it earlier this morning in the window. The souvenir shops sell the little bitty beans. There's the actual full-size one there. Kyle Gate. Amish Kapoor from London's the artist there. They won a competition here in Millennium Park. Yeah, I'm sweating it out now. Thankful the sun's behind the clouds a little bit. We got some overcast, which I some fencing over there. Taking photos there. Yeah, look at that. Here, we'll walk around it here. Yeah, the Bean of Chicago. Gate. Oh, that's right. Bike to Drive's coming up. Bike to Drive's coming up on Labor Day weekend. Thanks for reminding me of that, Marco. See, they used to do Bike to Drive before the pandemic. It was always in Memorial Day. It was end of May. And after the pandemic, when they finally got it re-going, they moved it back to September, and people, I think they liked it better in September, or more people were in town or something. And so they've been doing it. They'll probably do it Sunday, right? Is that when they're going to do it? Yeah, Sunday. Thanks, Marco. So I can go over and film it. I like going over and filming it because it's a rare, quiet moment where you can actually, for a brief moment, you can picture what the Lakeshore Drive was like before the cars. There's always cars there and traffic noise. And for a few brief hours on the Sunday when they do Bike to Drive, they close it to traffic. It's just bikes. And it's so quiet and it's so peaceful by the lakefront. And I want to document that. So we might film that. Thanks for the good reminder there. See, there's always something going on. Thanks for tuning in there. 6 or 6:30. Yeah, it's pretty early in the morning. They shut it down. I remember getting up really early one time they did it. That's when they did it back in May, and the police made sure all the vehicles were cleared off, and that last police car was going 150 miles an hour, just testing out their engine because there was no one on the drive, and that was the safest way. I assume that's what they were doing. That was the fastest I ever seen a Chicago police car drive, and it must have been testing its engine just to see how fast it could go, or it was trying to get to the other end so they could start the race. They got to be able to outrun the motorcycles, I guess. Motorcycles could probably do 200. I've seen motorcycles go dangerously fast, weaving in and out of traffic on Lakeshore Drives. People know what I'm talking about. And you hear them late at night, seeing how fast they can go. I remember one morning I was going to work, and there was a high-speed police chase where the police were trying to apprehend a motorcyclist that was riding without a helmet, that was in the middle of the streets going 120 miles an hour down like Clark and Dearborn Street in the Gold Coast and Division. And the police were trying to, and he kept taking different streets and trying to outrun the cops. And it was I don't even know how it ended up, because it was really dangerous. Like, I literally was like feet away from this bike going like 120 miles an hour down a residential street with police chasing after him. So you know, anytime you see those high-speed police chases in LA and people are just busting through intersections, there's people in those cars, there's kids in car seats, there's people trying to cross the street. Worst enemy. Thanks, you guys, trying to help me out, talk some sense into me. Is KD a bad person? No, he's the baddest. That's right. Bad is good. Yeah, we're buffering. So here I'm walking back into the dead zone there. That was that same dead zone I passed through before, so hopefully we walked out of it here. I'm about to wrap this up anyway, so thanks for tuning in here. We'll cross the street. How you doing? How you doing? Hey, I'm on YouTube here. So just walking through the city here. That's great. I'm from Chicago. I'm Brian, really Chicago. I walk around all sides of the city. Oh, yeah. I was doing the DNC. I was with the pro-Palestinian protesters, just showing people what was going on. Right. So I'm working. I'm just walking around the loop, showing people how hot it is. Well, how you doing with this heat? You doing okay? It's hot. I know. Stay cool. Stay cool. I appreciate it. Thank you. That's good. So, yeah, let's see. We'll head across here. Yeah, we'll head across Randolph. Hey, Guns N' Roses. The Goonies. Yeah, the Goonies never say die. Don't forget the Goonies. But hey, we survived the heat. Yeah, we'll see how hot it gets tonight. So I'll be on TikTok tonight. We'll tootle around, and then I got to go and get an eye exam. So I'll probably be streaming between 5 and 6:30. Before then, I'll probably get off. I'll head up towards the Russian division area there, or up the Russian state and division, and we'll check out that Warby Parker there. Got to get some new eyeglasses there. And hey, thanks for tuning in here. See, it's not as crowded here. People are staying cool, staying inside. Hope you stay cool. See you, John James, Lambie T. That's okay, Lambie T. If you missed the live, you can always rewind this. You can go start from the beginning, hear me complaining about the stock market. You can probably skip over that part or just mute it. And anytime you miss a live, you can watch the full rerun. That's the good thing about YouTube. Go to the live tab there on the YouTube page. Same with Christopher Dotson's content. You can watch the full live stream reruns and parse everything I say. It'll all be used against me in a court of law here. I got to bring my lawyer with me everywhere I go, and I speak too much. But thanks for listening. Thanks for tuning in there. Peace, Elisa. You're going to the Doobie Brothers. Yay, have fun at the Doobie Brothers. That should be a good concert, Lisa. Let me know how that goes. Hey, I want to see some reruns there. That's good. Denise, thanks for tuning in. Marco, thanks for the good feedback there. Damien, Sarah, yeah, Michael, Dolores, Kevin, thanks everybody. So we'll see you later today, and we'll see what's shaking in there. Dave, Chicago, hopeful and blessed. Richie B, thanks everybody for tuning in. Dahmer, yeah, thanks everybody. Okay, we're signing off here. Talk to you later there. Have a great day. Thanks for tuning in there. Stay cool. Stay